FCW version. Roman Reigns began his professional wrestling career in WWE's developmental territory, Florida Championship Wrestling, better known as FCW. Back then, he wasn't called Roman Reigns. His ring name was Leakee, a nod to his Samoan heritage. At this stage, his look was very simple, just like many other newcomers. Sometimes he would even appear wearing traditional Samoan lava attire, reflecting his family roots. His moveset was also different from the Roman Reigns we know today. Instead of the spear, his finishing move was the moment of silence. During his time in FCW, Leakee achieved his very first championship gold. He won the FCW Tag Team Championship alongside Mike Dalton, who later became known as Tyler Breeze. He even had a memorable triple threat match against rising stars like Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, names that would later play huge roles in Roman's main roster career. After FCW transitioned into NXT, Leakee continued with the same look and style, but his run there was relatively short. WWE saw his potential and decided to bring him up to the main roster, the Shield version. After his short run in NXT, Roman Reigns finally got his big break on the main roster. In late 2012, at Survivor Series, he debuted as part of a brand new faction that would change WWE forever, the Shield. Alongside Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, Roman played the role of the powerhouse, the silent destroyer who let his actions speak louder than words. Their entrance was unique, black tactical gear. Coming down through the crowd, creating an aura of chaos, Roman stood out for his intensity and dominance inside the ring. His moveset now included the spear and the Superman punch, which quickly became his trademarks. In the Shield, Roman wasn't the talker. That role belonged mostly to Ambrose and Rollins. But whenever Roman did speak, his calm, low voice added weight to the group's presence. Fans started noticing him as the enforcer, the man who could finish matches in an instant. Together, the Shield destroyed some of WWE's biggest names, including John Cena, The Undertaker, Randy Orton, and even legends like The Rock got involved with their chaos. Roman also won his first WWE Tag Team Championship, teaming with Rollins, showing that the Shield was more than just a faction. They were a movement. This period was crucial for Roman's career. It built his credibility, gave him mainstream exposure, and turned him from a developmental rookie into a rising star that WWE was preparing for bigger things. The Shield era is where Roman Reigns first began to feel like a future main eventer. Babyface Roman. After the Shield broke up, WWE was ready to push Roman Reigns as a solo superstar. This was the birth of Babyface Roman. His look slightly changed. While he still wore a version of the Shield attire, his vest now had his own logo and he started to stand out as an individual. WWE clearly wanted Roman to become the next John Cena-style hero, a good guy who could carry the company on his shoulders. He was always in the main event picture, constantly chasing world titles and positioned as the top babyface of the company. But this was also the time when Roman began to face heavy backlash from the fans. Many felt his character was being forced, almost like a copy of Cena, without the natural build-up. Even though Roman had big wins and was showcased as a main eventer, the audience didn't fully accept him. The turning point came at the 2015 Royal Rumble, when Roman eliminated Big Show and Kane to win the match. Instead of cheers, he was met with loud boos, even with The Rock raising his hand in celebration. Fans rejected the idea of Roman being the chosen one, and this hate continued to follow him throughout his babyface run. Still, this version was important. It tested Roman against the toughest crowd reactions and kept him in the world title scene. WWE never backed down, and this era built the foundation for the big dog persona that would follow. The big dog version. By 2016, Roman Reigns had fully stepped into his role as the big dog of WWE. For almost 2 straight years, he was kept right in the world title picture, facing some of the biggest names in the industry. WWE positioned him as their top star, but the fans still weren't fully ready to accept him. In this era, Roman's look evolved slightly. He still wore the black vest gear, but it now featured his own custom logo on the chest. His hair was longer, tattoos more defined, and his presence inside the ring started to feel stronger. Promos were still a challenge for him, but gradually he began to sound more confident, even if the crowd often booed him out of the building. Roman headlined multiple WrestleManias in a row. At WrestleMania 32, he defeated Triple H to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, though the Dallas crowd gave him thunderous boos instead of cheers. The following year, at WrestleMania 33, he did the unthinkable. Roman Reigns defeated The Undertaker in the main event, handing him his second loss at WrestleMania. The backlash was massive. The very next night on Raw, Roman stood in front of a furious crowd for minutes, listening to chants of delete and go away before simply saying, "This is my yard now." That one line became one of the most memorable promos of his career. During this period, Roman's rivalries were intense. His series with Braun Strowman was especially loved by fans. From ambulance matches to brutal beatdowns, Strowman brought out the best in Roman, and their feud was one of the highlights of WWE programming. Roman also clashed with superstars like AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and Samoa Joe, giving fans matches they truly enjoyed. WWE also experimented with him in the mid-card title scene. Roman feuded with Rusev and captured the United States Championship. Later, he had a strong rivalry with The Miz, which led him to win the Intercontinental Championship, making him a Grand Slam contender. These runs allowed Roman to show versatility outside the main event picture, but the biggest mountain to climb was always Brock Lesnar. Roman and Brock's rivalry defined this entire era. After multiple failed attempts and controversial finishes, Roman finally got his moment at SummerSlam 2018, where he defeated Lesnar to become the Universal Champion. This was the victory WWE had been building towards for years. Around this time, The Shield also reunited more than once, reminding fans of the group that had first made Roman a star. The crowd reactions were still mixed, but slowly, Roman was proving he could carry the company, whether fans cheered him or not. This big dog version of Roman Reigns was controversial, but important. He was always in the spotlight, constantly in main events, collecting championships, and showing improvement as a performer. By the end of 2018, he stood as Universal Champion, until fate took a tragic turn when he was forced to step away due to leukemia. The remission version. In late 2018, the entire WWE universe was shocked when Roman Reigns announced that he was battling leukemia once again. On Raw, he placed his championship belt in the ring and delivered an emotional speech, telling the fans that this was not a retirement. He would return, not just as a champion, but as a fighter. In that moment, even the fans who once booed him felt emotional and stood behind him with respect. After months away, Roman returned in early 2019, announcing that his leukemia was in remission. The reaction was thunderous. Maybe for the first time in years, he received nothing but love from the WWE crowd. During this period, he often wore shirts promoting cancer awareness and carried himself with a softer, more polite attitude inside the ring. Though not at his most aggressive, Roman still competed in big rivalries. He faced Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, clashed with Shane McMahon, and continued to be part of main stories. WWE, however, never gave him a fresh character direction, and slowly he began to feel like the same Roman fans had seen before. In early 2020, Roman was set to challenge Goldberg at WrestleMania for the Universal Championship, but just weeks before the event, he stepped away again, this time for health and safety reasons due to the COVID-19 pandemic. With that, Roman disappeared from WWE television. The Tribal Chief version. After months away during the pandemic, Roman Reigns made his shocking return at SummerSlam 2020. Wearing a shirt that said, "Wreck everyone and leave," he brutally attacked Braun Strowman and The Fiend, showing a darker, more vicious side than ever before. For the first time in his career, it truly felt like Roman had embraced a full heel turn. Just a week later, he appeared with Paul Heyman by his side, confirming his transformation. At the very next pay-per-view, Payback 2020, Roman won the Universal Championship in a triple threat match, beginning what would become a legendary reign. In the middle of the pandemic, Roman single-handedly carried WWE, giving fans a reason to tune in every week. His first major storyline was with his cousin, Jey Uso. Roman demanded respect, forcing Jey to acknowledge him as the head of the table. In emotional matches, Roman punished his own family until Jey, and later Jimmy, reluctantly joined him. This was the birth of the Bloodline, one of the greatest factions in modern WWE. In the Tribal Chief era, Roman completely transformed on the mic. With Paul Heyman's guidance, his promos became calm, sharp, and powerful. Catchphrases like "acknowledge me" made him stand out, and for the first time, fans enjoyed listening to him. Instead of boos, people respected this version. His confidence and storytelling finally matched his aura. Over the next years, Roman defended his title against some of the best in the business: Daniel Bryan, Edge, John Cena, Seth Rollins, and Brock Lesnar. With the help of the Usos, Sami Zayn, and later Solo Sikoa, he managed to keep his championship every single time. Roman's dominance, combined with Heyman's guidance, made him unbeatable. His aura grew so large that WWE Games even gave him a 99 overall rating, something no other superstar had ever achieved. Roman also evolved inside the ring. He introduced a new finisher, the guillotine choke submission, and his promos became sharper, calmer, and far more intimidating. Fans and critics alike agreed that this was the best version of Roman Reigns ever. At WrestleMania 38, Roman defeated Brock Lesnar in their most iconic match, unifying the WWE and Universal titles to become the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. His dominance continued into 2023, where rivalries with Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Cody Rhodes kept the Bloodline saga alive. The storyline even turned into a Bloodline civil war, one of the greatest modern wrestling stories. Roman's reign stretched to historic lengths. After more than 1,200 days as champion, he was finally pinned by Jey Uso at Money in the Bank 2023, a shocking moment that proved just how strong his aura was. And at WrestleMania 40 Night 2, Roman's 4-year-long title reign came to an emotional end when Cody Rhodes finally defeated him. The moment was powerful. Roman had carried WWE on his shoulders for 4 years, and his legendary Tribal Chief era had reached its conclusion. The OTC version, after his historic 4-year run ended at WrestleMania 40, Roman Reigns finally took a well-deserved break. But at SummerSlam 2024, he made a shocking return, attacking Solo Sikoa and starting a new chapter as the OTC Original Tribal Chief. This version of Roman appeared less often, working as a part-timer, but every time he showed up, it felt special. His rivalry with Solo grew personal, especially when Solo tried to claim the Bloodline throne. Roman stood against him, and the story reached new heights when he teamed up with Cody Rhodes to fight Solo and Jacob Fatu at War Games. In that epic battle, the original Bloodline reunited. Jey, Jimmy, Sammy, even CM Punk stood by Roman's side. The feud continued with a tribal combat match between Roman and Solo, where Roman fought to prove he was still the true head of the table. Later, he even made a surprise return in the Royal Rumble, reminding everyone that his aura hadn't faded. At WrestleMania, Roman entered another blockbuster storyline, a triple threat with Seth Rollins and CM Punk. But in a shocking twist, after nearly 5 years, Paul Heyman betrayed Roman, ending one of the most dominant alliances in WWE history. Now, Roman Reigns appears less frequently in WWE, focusing more on Hollywood, but this OTC version still carries the same respect and power. Fans appreciate this phase too, because every Roman appearance feels like an event. So this was the journey of Roman Reigns through all his versions, full of ups and downs, hate and love, but in the end, he achieved greatness. Tell us in the comments, which version of Roman Reigns do you like the most? And don't forget to subscribe to WrestleBoy for more wrestling stories. Thank you for watching.